Oh, we're good. Here we are again. Let's roll like we never left. For everybody that was at the Media Pro Day yesterday, congratulations. You guys got after it. And I come back to the Teddy Roosevelt quote, man in the arena. If you didn't, Prater, and you weren't there, it's not the critic that counts. You know what I mean? It's the person that was in the arena. So that was awesome to see you guys get after it, man. So it's so glad to be back. And as always, guys, thank you, Jesus, for the opportunity to coach this team. I'm so blessed. It says in the book of Luke, too, much is given, much is required. And I think about that a lot, like the impact. My why is to have an impact. My why is to have an impact on these players, on our community, and do it in a different way. That's why this program, we talk about being built different. Built different is building champions on and off the field by doing common things in an uncommon way. And that's what we do relentlessly every single day. We end the season, and we get into the off season, January, February, and we talked about process over outcome, right? Especially at Boise State, high expectations, as there should be. Picked to win the Mountain West Conference for 15 straight years or whatever it is. It hasn't always accomplished it. And our team's done a really good job this offseason focusing on our process. I get asked all the time, are you ready for this game? Are you ready for this? What are you going to do with this guy not being here? And it's like, we're going to handle our day-to-day better than anyone else in the country. That's what we're working our tail off to do. And I can promise that right now I'm trying to make sure we have the best July 24th of everybody we play. And that's going to be our focus. No different we go into fall camp starting Sunday. Can we handle our process better than anybody else? We're a process-driven team, and I believe that will result in everything you want. Going into the summertime, we talked about the summer. I called this summer the edge. That's something to prove every single day, not just for our players, for our staff too. When you come in the building, it's not last year is last year. You can't start halfway up the mountain. I told our team that. You can't. Greatness never goes on sale. And so it's just been that mentality for our team. And I'm proud of where we're at right now, July 24th. We've got a great group of guys. I really do believe we have the best staff in the nation. I was talking with the guys that came out to media days. I don't know if there's any other coaching staff in the country that can say we didn't lose any coaches this offseason, right? Dirk Cutter stepped down from being the offensive coordinator, but he's our senior analyst. Zach Hill came in to coach quarterbacks, didn't lose any other full-time coaches. That's a big deal in this landscape, and it shows that no different our players and our coaches believe in what we're doing here. So as we get ready to start fall camp on Sunday, I believe Coach Hilgart, our strength staff, our coaches, and our players, the leadership on our team has stepped up a lot this summertime. I think they had a really, really good summer. They're in some of the best shape of their life. Now we got to get to playing football. And there's some new guys that came in June that from seeing them train, seeing them work out, seeing them strain, man, love what they're about. Got to see them play football now. And here at Boise State football, everything is earned. And when we start fall camp, there's going to be a seating chart. Yeah, there's guys in our team. We've got a good amount of returners coming back that have a lot of equity here because of what they've done on the field. But they better earn it every single day because the guys that's the number 2 or the number 3 is going to work his tail off to catch him at some point before we put the ball down in Tampa Bay on August 27th, 28th. BJ? 28th. I'm just checking them. But I appreciate you guys as always taking time to come out and fire it up for our head. So with that, open it up for questions.
You guys recalibrated the goal up there on the.
Yeah, how about that? I climbed up there on 4th of July break and my first time doing some graffiti. Yeah.
I know it's just a small whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, just in terms of recalibrating the goals here,
Yeah.
what that message means. What was kind of behind that?
No, BJ, it's something that I thought a lot about this offseason. And I go back to the process over outcome because I don't know if anybody's goal is much different than ours with 135 FBS schools. Now, if I'm being honest, I bet you every single one of them's probably dang close to ours. In this landscape, not putting the CFP up there, especially who you are, this is Boise State football, I think it's something that needs to be there. Like that is, I'm not going to run from the fact that our goal is to win our conference and play in a college football playoff game, win that college football playoff game, and keep pushing through the play. Like that's, and I would hope that's probably every other school we play this whole season. So it was something that, and honestly didn't even talk to our players about it. Like that we came in, changed it. I'm all about the process of our team, and we talk about that in January, and I really don't hit it again.
What did you like about what you did last year in camp? Do you want to keep the process similar or the outcome similar of what you've got? And then last year was your first full year. what was maybe one thing that you want to do differently or want to do better in camp this year than last year?
Yeah, Bob, really liked the organization of our camp last year. After every season, and I'm not talking about the actual in-season, every season of a football year, so you have winter training, that's a season. You have spring ball, summer. After fall camp, that's a season. We go through a what did you learn time as a staff. And so I take tons of notes from our coaches, trainers, staff members, things we did well, things we want to do better this year. And really like the logistics of fall camp and how we set it up, practice times, when we lifted more last fall camp. It's just some of those things, how we did some walkthroughs. A big thing for me going into this fall camp is I got to make sure I put our players in situations to fail and respond from failure even more. What does that look like in practice? Changing the practice plan on them randomly, right? That's going to happen. Not all the time, because I believe in our guys getting in rhythm, but there's going to be times of practice where I blow the horn and we're putting the ball down and we're going to do 3 plays of urgency right now, right? Just trying to find some things, because just like anything, I want to make sure our best players fail and have to respond in practice, because that's going to come for them game one. Game one, we play a really talented South Florida team that we got to get ready for. I got to make sure that the first time our best players fail, it's not in game one. As a freshman, as a player that maybe hasn't played a lot, failure comes a lot more in fall camp, but I want to make sure that every single player in our team is in conflict every single practice, and they got to respond to that, because championship elite teams respond to adversity. So that's the biggest thing I've looked at, Bob, just little ways that I can make sure, not a lot, because I don't want but I do want our players and staff on edge to make sure that, because that's football. That's football. Oh, we're doing really good. Interception. Respond to it. Right? You think something's going your way. Negatives happen. The best teams, elite teams, respond from adversity. I think we did a good job last season. Not perfect, because there's times in games where we didn't respond that well to adversity. I can think of times in the Penn State game. Right? So that's something as a program we need to grow in. But overall as a fall camp, I like logistically what we did last year. I like the structure of it. There's going to be some things in regards to practice that we changed, and in regards to periods and how we do some things. But I like the structure of it.
You and every college football coach in America went through different set of roster management rules this offseason.
Yeah.
The house limit, or the house rules say 105. I think you got 108. I don't know what the loophole is to get you 3 more, but maybe talk specifically about roster management and how you dealt with that this offseason with these new rules.
Yeah, it's with the house settlement, kind of one of those things as we go into the offseason, Prater, where I think April was the first time they met on it. I can't remember the exact time, but somewhere around that time. Going through spring ball, you're kind of like, hey, is this going to be a hard set at 105? Is there going to be different legislations for teams that are on a current roster that they can stay there because they can kind of get grandfathered in? So you're kind of going through a lot of what ifs by still making sure we're all about keeping our players here, right? It's not about, yes, I'm all about finding the right players to come in here, but less about recruiting for me and all about making sure we retain our best players. And not just even our best players, our guys that maybe haven't played a lot or are young, but we know can become that. So that was really the main focus of the offseason for us, Prater. And then as these, and prepared for the house settlement either way. And as we got into summertime, went through the rules the right way to make sure, okay, where our roster's at, who are some players that can be here, that can essentially be grandfathered in because they're a part of our team, and find a way to make sure we have the best players to compete for a championship.
How's Tyler Gaines' recovery? Is he going to be healthy, ready to go day one?
He's had a great summer. Yeah, he's had a great summer. Right now he's going to be healthy for practice one. He's a young man, guys. I think I was talking to, I don't know if you asked the question, BJ, at media days, but I don't think he took a day off all summertime. And I think that gets thrown around a lot. Like 4th of July, we give our players about a week off. He stayed in Boise and snuck into the weight room to work out. That's just the summer he's had, and he's had a really, really good summer. So he'll be ready to roll practice one, and really excited for him.
Much better position is he in this year than even last year. Last year's true freshman,
yeah.
And he had a lot of time last year to probably, learn the game the way he didn't really anticipate going into the season. So what type of position is he in, even mentally too, for that matter?
He's grown so much over the past year, Jay. You talk about a young man that is all about Boise State football and being a part of this family. I mean, you talk to Sire Gaines and he will stare you down because he's intense. Everything he does, he's all in. He's all in with his team. He's all in with taking this game as far as he can for himself, his family. And so seeing him from last year, true freshman, 17 years old, nobody really knows about Sire Gaines, did some good things in spring ball as a early enrollee, and then seeing him play the games he was able to play and played extremely well, got hurt. When football gets taken from a young man where that's his love. He loves football. He loves training. He loves being a part of a team. That's hard. But he grew so much mentally in that time too, Jay. I mean, seeing him go about even some of the stuff this offseason, right? Thinking he's going to be ready to go for spring ball. Wasn't quite ready yet. That's hard, especially for a young man that loves football. And seeing him respond from it, his relationship with the Lord has grown. His mental clarity is in a much better place. He responds to adversity better. How he's a part of our leadership group. That was voted on by his teammates as a true sophomore, really a redshirt freshman. That's big time. That's the level he is with his teammates. And just seeing him grow the past year has been really, really exciting. He's still got so many things that I'm so excited for him to continue to grow in as a redshirt freshman. But a man that is wired the right way and really, really excited for this season for him.
Spencer, what are your expectations for Chris Marshall? Like, what do you need to see from Chris Marshall this camp?
Chris Marshall's had a really good summer, Johnny. Right now, the biggest thing for Chris is always going to be his consistency. Extremely talented. Love being around him, but seeing him train this offseason, his body's different now, Johnny. Like he's strong, he's explosive. He's always been very talented, but seeing him put the work in with Coach Hilgart, our trainers, he's had a really, really good summer. I was actually just talking to our staff about it earlier when we're going through fall camp and practice one and just kind of fine details. Chris has stood out this summer. Now, he's got to do it practice one, practice two, practice three, all the way till game one. But sitting here right now, man, I'm extremely proud of Chris. He's grown so much in the year and a half he's been here, and really excited about the fall camp he's going to have.
So is he healthy as of today?
He is.
100%?
He'll be ready to roll practice one.
So where do you see him going forward into the season? Obviously consistency, see what he does, but where do you see him fitting in?
Yeah, we'll see after fall camp. Yeah, good question.
Any particular players limited at the outset of fall camp?
Yeah, good question. Going into fall camp, Hall, Schmidt, and Tyler Knath, they'll be practicing, but somewhat limited. They had some surgeries this offseason. You guys saw those in spring ball, but they will be ready to roll. They'll just be somewhat limited to start fall camp. Outside of that, David Latu will probably miss a couple days. He has just a soft tissue injury last week, but he'll be in the mix probably in a week or so. Other than that, right now, nothing right now off the top of my head that's going to keep someone from competing. Some guys are going to be just from summer training, maybe a little bit limited day one, but those are the ones that come to mind. Other than that, our guys will be ready to roll.
Is Sire a guy that he'll be there like a normal guy, or do you have to give him maintenance days type things just to, I don't say put him in bubble wrap, but just have him, whatever you got to do to limit him to make sure he's ready to go against South Florida?
Yeah, we're going to be smart with Cy. We're going to be smart with our guys that we know who they are and who they're about. But Cy's got to have a really good fall camp too. I mean, there's going to be high competition in the running back room, so he's going to be ready to compete in fall camp. So we're going to be smart with reps and with a lot of our players, BJ, but Cy's ready to compete.
You mentioned Hall Schmidt, maybe being out a little at the beginning. He started so much last year. Is that essentially his job, or is that a competition there, or who's in the mix at right tackle?
Yeah, Hall did a good job for us last year. Obviously, really excited for him to take a big step. Dalen Matoyer, we call him Big Lou. He's had a really good summertime. And so excited. There is going to be competition there, BJ. There's going to be competition at every position. And I know sometimes that gets, that's just kind of what it is. That's why in our core values are climb and the C's competition. Like everything is earned here. So at the right tackle spot, has done a really good job for us. But Dalen Matoyer's had a really good summer. So I'm excited to see how that competition shakes down in fall camp.
How about left guard?
Left guard right now going with TK somewhat limited. We're going to have Jason Steele there. And we really have 9 offensive linemen that were able to play in games last season. As hard as that was last year with guys getting injured and Coach Keene, Coach Potter doing a great job moving guys around. Now you love it because you got really good depth. So going into fall camp, TK will be somewhat limited, and so Jason Steele and him will be competing there at left guard.
How is Manson different this year.
Yeah, Maddox Madsen's a relentless competitor. And seeing him grow, he's grown as a football player. He's in the best shape of his life. I was talking to Coach Hilgard about this a couple weeks ago. I mean, how he's running, how he's moving, different than I've ever seen Maddox. His ball, the throws he's making, like who he is, that's grown a ton this offseason. What I am probably most proud of him is his leadership, though. I mean, he has stepped up. This is his team. As our starting quarterback, this is his team. And what I love about Maddox is he has not changed who he is. He is low ego, high output, no moment too high, no moment too low. And that's why our team is consistent and was consistent last year. So much of it is because Maddox Madsen. So seeing him continue to grow in that leadership with the players that were huge leaders on our team that aren't here anymore, I'm so proud of Maddox in that way. So excited for him to really take the reins this fall camp.
When Braxton came back in April, you mentioned he had to earn the trust back of the team. How's he been doing that with that this summer, and what's it mean to really have him back?
Yeah, I love Braxton. He's a son to me, always will be. Going through that whole situation this offseason was hard. The first day of training, we got back, he spoke to the team and shared his heart, shared what he went through, and essentially apologized to the team. And from that point on, absolutely has worked his tail off. But that's who he's always been here. He's always been one of our hardest workers, one of our best guys to be around. And so he has earned the trust of his teammates, coaches. He's out there leading on the field. We need him to. I mean, he's a senior defensive lineman. He's played a lot of football, had a lot of success for us. And I believe Braxton's going to have a really, really good senior year.
What were your thoughts when you look down at your phone and you see him on the caller ID? Were you kind of expecting that conversation to go the way it did? Or?
Yeah, good question. I think just when he was calling, I was just hoping he was okay. You know, one of those, like I said, this college football and what gets talked about, for me, I love these kids like my sons. Always will. Yeah, there's times you're frustrated with them on decisions they make, and I get that, no different than our own kids. But when he was calling me, I hadn't talked to him in, I think it was 2 weeks. And so it was later at night. I'm like, man, just making sure he was okay. And when he shared his heart with me about this is home, and he knew that, all I was thinking about was getting back home.
How big of a swing is that for you and what you have returning on the defensive line? We talked about during the spring, you guys are pretty young up there, you got people moving around, and now you get a guy that has done it for a long time at a pretty high level.
It's huge, Jay. And it just goes back to our philosophy here. We are all about retention. I believe in the guys we're going to recruit. I believe in how we're going to develop the right players, which is who we recruit here. Like I've said before, talent sets the floor, character sets the ceiling. We find those right guys, Braxton, they're always going to be our best guys. And when one of them leaves and you're in flux and now you got to think about, okay, who are we going to go get to replace him? You're in the tailspin of what really you see a lot of college football teams becoming. And when Braxton came back home, he's such an anchor for our team. Not even just our defensive front, and I think, seeing the guys that when he left, seeing the other guys step up in spring ball, Lopez Sanusi, David Latu, Deion Washington, Michael Maudry, them step up and really grow, and then you bring Braxton back in, who really is the veteran, who's played all-league returner, really excited about that defensive front. And then with Jaden Virgin Morgan, Max Steege, really excited about our front. And there's going to be high competition there, too, and it needs to be. I mean, led the nation in sacks last year. That's not just because of the front four. That's because of coverage and disguise and a lot of things that go into it. But we're going to be on the attack, and that definitely starts up front.
With Hall Schmidt being limited early, is that an opportunity for Cox, Jake Steele, maybe somebody else? Who gets that opportunity now?
Yeah, Dalen Matoyer and Hall Schmidt are going to be competing at right tackle. Those will be the two that will go in. Kyle Cox will be in the mix too at one of the tackle spots. And Jake Steele is kind of like a swing. He can play either or, guard or tackle. And Coach Keene and me and Coach Potter have looked at, there's going to be some different rotation to see who is our best two deep going into game one.
Obviously, you never want injuries, but with all the experience you guys got last year, how much does that kind of make you more comfortable navigating it on the offensive line?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I mean, we played 9 different offensive linemen last year, which going through it isn't always what you want. Injuries are a part of the game. It's next man up. Now going into this season, it's a lot of guys that cut their teeth in game that you can build on from that experience now.
Did you announce captains yet?
We have not. Yeah, we're going to announce captains on Sunday. Voted as a team on yesterday in a team meeting. We'll announce those on Sunday.
How much of an impact could a freshman like Quentin Brown make this year?
We'll see in fall camp. And there's a lot, and it's a good question. There's a lot of guys. I mean, Jaden Mickey, Derek Ganter, Quentin Brown. I'm going to keep going through some guys. We haven't seen them play football yet. And so proud of the freshmen that came in the summertime, some transfers that came in the summertime on who they can be, but they got to earn it in fall camp. To date, Quentin Brown's done a great job this summertime, but we got to go see him do it in fall camp.
Did you anticipate, like, so much talk about the wide receivers, but I mean, you brought in, 5 or whatever. I mean, is one or two of those, is somebody going to have some sort of key role for you out of that group, or do you have enough with everybody else?
That's the goal, BJ. I mean, when you bring in young players, we want to recruit the right kids that if they compete the right way in fall camp, they're going to play. They're going to play. And we're a personnel package-based offense, so we're going to package everything through fall camp to make sure every single one of our receivers gets an opportunity to compete and put it on film. And there's some older guys in our receiver room that haven't played a lot. I mean, we talk about Chris Marshall. I mean, I think about Ben Ford, Chase Penry. Played a little bit, but I know they're chomping at the bit to get out there and compete and have an impact.
You list that Ben Ford's had a tremendous summer. Is he kind of the forgotten man?
I wouldn't say the forgotten man, at least not in our building. I mean, he's done a great job this summer. He's in the best shape of his life. And I know Ben Ford wants to play, and he wants to have an impact on this team on offense and on special teams. Excited for him to go compete in fall camp.
You guys list 9 edge rushers on your roster. I think 5 returners and 4 new guys. Essentially, that's one position. So I'm assuming there's a lot of depth and a lot of rotation and a lot of diversity there. Can you kind of talk about that group? Yeah, Coach Frazier, our edge coach, I've talked about him before. I think he's one of the best edge coaches in the country. The standard he holds in that room. I mean, when you coach a position with 2 guys on the field and both of them are first team all conference, that shows a lot. With Jaden Virgin Morgan coming back, he's really the leader in that room. He's one of the top leaders on our entire team. A relentless competitor. Everything kind of trickles down from Jaden. Max Steege has really taken the torch with Ahmed leaving and really being that field side end for us. Malachi Williams, transfer that came in early, was able to go through spring, has had a great summer. He's in the best shape of his life. The football schemes, the fundamentals, the techniques. There's going to be high competition at that defensive end spot with Max and Malachi. Jaden Virgin, and behind him, I mean, Bol, a true freshman that early enrolled, is going to be have a chance to compete at that stud position for us. We also got Sterling Lane, who's a transfer that came this summertime. Haven't seen him go through football stuff with us yet. That'll start in fall camp. Jaden Williams is a young freshman that we got that is going to be able to come out and compete. I'm trying to think of anybody else just of note there. I mean, it's going to be a position that I'm really excited about. Roman Kaywood's healthy now. I mean, Roman Kaywood's talented. He just has been banged up through injuries. So excited to see him in that mix and compete. Markel Bowens is a local kid that is here now that is extremely talented that I think can be really good. Not saying he's going to play his true freshman year, but we think can be really good. I really like the young group of edge players that we were able to recruit. I'm not saying that all of them will play this year, Prater, but I think the future is really bright in that room. We do so much with our edge players that, I mean, that our defense, a huge way we're different is because of how we play those edges. We ask a lot from them, and they do a lot for us. First down, second down, and third down. So it's going to be high competition. We are going to rotate those guys. Not so much stud to DN, but we will rotate a lot. In our front, we want to rotate and keep our guys fresh in the front 7. So we really got to go in game 1 really with who's the best 4, best 5 at the edge.
Derek Ganter, is he safety, nickel?
He's a safety. Yep. He's going to come into fall camp as a boundary safety. Could play nickel probably too, BJ. There's a lot of position versatility there. But Derek Ganter, man, love his mentality. Haven't seen him play football here truly yet, but he has had him and Jaden Mickey have had really good summers for us here. Great young men. Absolutely fit our culture here. We just got to see him go play football. Jaden Mickey will be competing at nickel, and Derek Ganter will be competing at boundary safety.
You said captains will be defined here in the near future. I know you've been asked about Ashton a lot, and I'm not talking about production, but it was just like Ash had this aura kind of just about him. And like day 1 of last year, there was no doubt who was going to be in the center of the hype circle day one. So how do you stress the importance of that role? Production aside, that clear-cut guy that, dude, first guy off the bus, you want to follow him. Like, how do you identify that or challenge somebody to be that?
Yeah, Jay, every team is different. Every year is a new year. Ashton is one of the top leaders I've ever been around in all my years coaching, because he had that innate sense that could grab a kid, have a one-on-one conversation, could also speak to the entire room, would also lead by example. Are we going to have the Ashton Genty leader day one of fall camp? I don't know. But this is a new team. And I've also been a part of elite teams that had multiple players carry that flag. That's why my big thing with our leaders is not who's going to be the next Ashton. It's I want you to be the best version of yourself. I want you to open up your vision to see who you can bring with you. And I've told our team before, if you think you're leading and no one's following you, you're really just out for a walk, right? So what are you doing? And that is what I'm really proud of our leaders doing this offseason. Maddox Madsen. Don't be Ashton, Maddox. Be the best Maddox, because that's going to bring people with us and help our team be our best. Cage Casey. Jay, I can go down the list of these guys that are leaders for us, Jay. So is it last year? I cannot agree more with you. You knew fall camp practice one, Deuce was going to be in the middle. Let's roll. It's a new team this year. And I think as we go through fall camp, there's going to be guys that continue to elevate that. And it's really exciting to see those guys step up. But I don't want anyone to think, I got to be that. Be you, but be the best version of you. And I know that's what we need.
Who's the backup corners then if Mickey's working at nickel?
Yeah, it's going to be competition there. We were actually talking through that earlier, PJ. So you're going to have Amarion and Jeremiah. But then you're going to have, a rotation from field corner, boundary corner with Meach Freeney, Sherrod Smith, who got here this summertime. Trey Tolmer's done a good job. Franklin Johnson had one of the best summers he's had. He's been here. So you're going to get a lot of that working throughout the summertime.
Losing a couple of big special team guys, Joe Madalmas, JFR. How are you feeling about the guys you brought in to replace them, whether it's Oscar Doyle or Colton Boomer?
Yeah, I will know a lot more about that, obviously, at the end of fall camp. But Oscar and Boomer, great fits here. Fit our culture, work their tails off. Really believe that we're going to take a big step in that room. Really do. Now, got to go see it in fall camp. Got to go see it with all 11. We knew going this offseason, taking a big step in our special teams was mandatory, and I know we're going to do that. Now we just got to go put the work in. But I really do believe in those two. Jarrett Reeser's had a great summer. Mason Hutton, I think, is going to be one of the best long snappers in the country. Had a great summer. So even some guys that are here are excited to compete and find out really who our guys are.
I've got a story coming out about your general manager, Brandon Jones. Can you talk to me about what he does for this program on a daily basis?
Yeah, Brandon Jones does a great job in a lot of phases of our program. Right, we're a smaller recruiting department than maybe some of the powers that be. Right, we've really got two full-time recruiting guys: Brandon Jones, our general manager, and Kyle Young, who's our director of player personnel. And then we've got Shawnee Fisk, who's one of our graduate assistants, does a great job. We've got some interns that work their tails off too. So we've got a great group, but we're not. And we're not as big as some programs, but we got the right guys. And that's what I love about them. Tireless workers. Brandon Jones, been here for about, over a year now, and is a great talent evaluator. He can watch film and find things about guys. I believe in his eye, I trust his opinion a lot when we're evaluating. He does a great job building relationship with the players. And so him and Kyle together with our staff, and our staff does a great job turning over every rock, because we still recruit area. A lot of schools are going to more just position. You are an area recruiter and a position recruiter on this staff. And so they come alongside our position coaches, support them. And in this landscape, I'm involved a lot with it. I do a lot in that space because it's just the reality of it. And I'm very close with these players. So me and Brandon Jones do a lot of things hand in hand in regards to not only the talent acquisition, but a lot also on the talent retention, and even see we can be in the future. But I think Brandon Jones is a rock star in this profession. I think the best is still to come for him here and all the things that I know God's put in his heart. So,
How much has your staff changed this offseason in terms of resources? How many full-time positions have you added? How many part-time positions have you added? How has your staff grown?
It's a good question, Prater. I don't think we've added any new positions. That is something I know when I say this, Austin, January, that I know there's a couple, like recruiting's one that I'm excited to hopefully get there. And I don't say that enough. I mean, Jeremiah Dickey is amazing, gives us everything we need. I know for me this offseason, it was to make sure we kept our staff. More on that than add more positions. That was my goal this offseason, man. I know we've got the right guys on the bus. We got to keep them here. It's my job as head coach to make this place where they know they're grown, loved, and a part of that is the value of it, which is the financial piece. And I'm so proud of Jeremiah Dickey being able to help grow our staff salary pool this offseason. So I don't think we add. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything right now, Perry. That's a good question. We didn't add any new positions. We need to in the future, but it was more bolstering the guys that we have.
I think at times throughout the summer, you've seen other coaches be kind of vocal about, with the portal and tampering and things like that, and even Dan Lanning said yesterday about there should be consequences. What is your take on that as we approach another college football season?
Great question, Jay. I mean, the transfer portal, tampering, is it frustrating? Golly, yes. I think more and more for me, I'm trying to just be a problem solver in this space. I get asked a lot about things from either the college football playoff format and when should the transfer portal be, tampering. And yeah, there's things that I have strong opinions about, but I'm just trying to more now, Jay, as I grow, to really focus on the things that I do control. I will tell you this, when I find out that coaches tamper with our players, I am calling them immediately, and that will not stop. That's going to keep happening. But in regards to the media, it's not something I'm going to be talking about a lot because I got to focus on growing our team. I got to focus on growing our players because I control that. When I put my head on the pillow every night, I got to make sure for these 108, 109 players, they are getting all of me instead of me focused on things I don't control. But I will, when staffs tamper with our players, they will be hearing from me. And will anything come from it? Maybe not. But I want them to know I know. And I want them to know that I believe no matter where people are at, right is right, even if no one's doing it. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Period. That's integrity to me. And that's what I want to make sure our program does.
Prater asked a question, but you just mentioned 108 or 109 players. Is your limit 105, or are there some exceptions?
Yeah, so with the House settlement, I want to speak out of place here. There is 105, but if you have, what is it? DSA. I was looking for that term. If you have DSAs that are players on your team, that if it was a hard set 105, they might not be a part of it, they can still stay here. Essentially almost grandfathered into your program. And so we have a couple of those guys on our team, and that's what was able to put us at, off the top of my head, I don't know if we're at 108 or 109, but we're somewhere right there.
I guess answered about Maddox earlier, but just looking at his position going into a fall camp, he knows he's QB1. Yep. He's not coming off an ACL injury. Just in terms of how he walks into 2025 spring camp, or fall camp, how good of a position is he in to be the whatever best version of himself that he can be? Yeah,
Jay, I believe this, and this is my opinion from watching him this offseason. Obviously, fall camp's a huge piece of this. I believe Maddox is going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the country this year. I believe that. From seeing how he moves, seeing the confidence he has, the edge he has, how he's leading our team, the throw, just who he is, I really believe that. Now, we got a lot of work to go do that, but I'm just seeing just the confidence. And he's always very confident. That's always been Maddox because he's always been counted out. From high school to Boise State, everybody's counted out Maddox. And he's proved everybody wrong every step of the way. And so seeing him now step into it, but he's always that guy, and I've talked about this before about him. He's the hunter, though. He's chasing other things now. It's not just now to be the starting quarterback at Boise State. Now, I told him, I want you to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And focus on that, and that's your process, not in regards to the stats and what people tell you. Can you make sure that's your process every day? Because you do it, the outcomes will take care of themselves. But I'm so excited for Maddox because everything Maddox has gotten, Maddox has earned, and excited to see him put it on display this season.
Defensively, 2 areas last year, tackling and lack of turnovers, were issues at times. How in fall camp are you doing anything different to try to address either of those? And you had 55 sacks, but I think I saw you had 0 strip sacks.
0? How about that? Yeah, we don't like strip sacks. Yeah, we like punt return, and yeah.
More of a fluke than anything, but is that
No, it's something we got to train, BJ. And I say it jokingly because I talked to our team yesterday in the team meeting about championship teams. Like, what does it take to be a championship team? Uncommon effort, physically dominant, and the third part is takeaways. Got to be +1. We have to grow those things. So tackling, our staff, me included, have done a ton of research this offseason to make sure, are we repping it the right way? Are we teaching it the right way? What are drills that we're missing? Are we recruiting the right kids that are elite tacklers in high school too, right? So there's a lot of things we've been looking at because it is an area. There's multiple plays on film that if we get them down, which is football, but if you get them down, it's a whole different ballgame from either off the field on third down or what have you. So it's something we got to grow. Even in this space, we're gonna find a way to do a good amount of live tackling in fall camp. The smart way, but we're gonna make sure we get guys on the ground. Especially game 1, they're gonna have speed all across the field, and we got to find a way to get them on the ground. That's every team we play. In the regards to takeaways, we got to find a way to create strip sacks and create havoc plays on the quarterback and get the ball, right? Led the nation in sacks, not 1 strip sack. That's something we got to find a way to teach it better. And we know, and I know our guys are, from all facets of it. No different. We had, I think, 20 missed opportunities in regards to interceptions, either drop balls or lack of effort to get to an interception. So, if you add 20 takeaways to our number, probably number 1 in the country. So we got to now, instead of, though that's the outcome, right? We got to be a better tackling defense. We have to create more takeaways. I really believe in the process our guys have gone about to make sure we put it into fall camp. But it's going to be a huge emphasis. We're going to look at every single day, how we tackle, how we create takeaways. And no different on the flip side. We did a great job last season in regards to protecting the football. But we got to earn the right to go do it again now too.
The roster retention part of your offseason worked so well. You literally have a returning starter or a projected starter at every single position. Now you guys are going to preach competition at camp like crazy. You have to send that message a little bit more this year because these 18, 19-year-old kids think, I'm starting.
Yeah. No, good point, Prater. Hopefully as a staff, and I say hopefully because fall camp hasn't started yet, that's our job as coaches to make sure that if the guy who's a returner is not doing what he's supposed to in a walkthrough, in a drill, in a team period, he's going to miss the next rep because we're going to put someone in front of him. I believe so strong in my heart that the way to keep everybody focused on where they're supposed to be and growing every day is competition. Because if I'm a starter and I look behind me and the number 2's got no shot to beat me out, human nature is probably to take your foot off the gas a little bit. It's our job as coach to make sure that doesn't happen. That's on all 11 positions on special teams and all those things. So we will constantly move this depth chart as we go through fall camp. I want to know, too, what we got. Maybe he's not going to be a starter, but I want to see him get starting reps. I want to see maybe we need him week 5. We might not need him week 1, but we may need him week 5. So I constantly want to do that to make sure our players know everything's earned. And if you don't go out and compete the right way, that guy behind you can't wait to take your spot.
Spencer, on Monday morning, do you still get the butterflies of day 1? Like, is it any different, or you just show up, or what?
I get fired up every day, Jay. It probably frustrates our team because I'm waiting for them in the building when they're strolling in. So, no doubt. I'm so excited to get this thing rolling. God works in mysterious ways, and I believe that like football, it's a seasonal game, right? By the time you're done playing the football season, family-wise and coach-wise, you're ready for that time. Then you have the winter training, spring ball, summer. I'm ready to put these pads back on and play real football. I'm ready to be around these guys a lot and see them compete and see the work they've put in this offseason to go do it. So I'll be coming in extra hot on Monday morning, Jay.
Outside Marco, not a lot of guys at linebacker who played
Yep.
a lot for you. What do you like about that room? You
Yeah.
know, obviously Jake, I know will be moving back to that position.
Yep.
But who else do you expect to see at linebacker?
Yeah, Marco Notarini is one of the best linebackers, in my opinion, that we've ever had here. In regards to, I tell people, watch game film on Marco. See him run a front, see him make adjustments. I mean, he is a football guy. And so Marco's going to be not only the leader in that room, he's going to be one of the top leaders on our entire team. So I always feel good with Marco. Jake Ripp has worked his tail off this summer. Last season, he's ready to be a starter. Now, hasn't played a lot for us. There's guys like Clay Martineau, Bowen Phelps, Chase Martin, that are 4 guys that are chomping the bit to find a way to get on the field. So we're going to have a ton of competition at the Mike and Will position. Those positions are flexible. So we're going to find the best 4 going into South Florida. And we're going to have those guys go cut loose and compete.
I know there was a lot of hype around Sincere Brackett when
Yeah.
he signed 2 years ago.
Yep.
Could he possibly break into
We'll
that
see.
lineup?
Absolutely. Sincere had a good spring and has trained really well this summer. Him and Mana Tuioti are 2 true freshmen that I think have a shot to play on defense and special teams. And Coach Collins does a really good job at that room. Like, there's going to be high competition and guys are going to be moved around, and excited to see our guys compete and to see who really our top 4 are, because very similar at the front. Even though I'm a backup, you will still play. We're going to rotate guys at inside linebacker. So all those 4 got to be ready.
Back to Mickey for a second. What was he played very little in the slot at Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
What's kind of the reasoning to train him at nickel there?
Yeah, I want to get our best guys on the field, BJ. Want to get our best guys on the field. So he can play anywhere on our back. He can play safety, he can play nickel, he can play corner. He has a lot of position versatility and want to find a way to make sure he competes and has the best opportunity to play on the field. I think his skill set fits him really well at nickel because he's physical, he can tackle. One of the smartest football players I've talked to in regards to guys that are new to our program, and excited to really have high competition there with him and Devon.
You expect however it plays out, both those guys to see time there in games, or would you rotate?
I would think so. I mean, once again, we got to go into fall. I have not seen him play football in person. And as we go through fall camp, there might be even more position moves, BJ. Someone might get banged up. Someone might not be playing the right way. He can play corner. He can play safety. He has a lot of position versatility. That's kind of more of a starting point for us. But I think he can do a really good job at it.
Anybody else? One, let's go. Right.
Nothing? God bless you guys. Appreciate it. Let's roll.